Sometimes it's not just what you know, but what you do with it. So when you get into magical practice, there is a lot to learn. There's a lot of different paths that you can take. There's a lot to read, and there's a lot of different avenues to go with it. I mean, you could spend years just studying old texts, grimoires, any of the books that are in on New Age bookshelves, in New Age stores. You could spend your entire life just reading up on this stuff and reading and gaining a lot of knowledge about what sigils are, what correspondences are. You can look into numerology, astrology, various ways of raising energy, various ways that cultures have performed rituals through psychodrama and play, the different ways to travel to different planes. You can read up on a ton of different ways of communicating with spirits, evoking and invoking spirits, spirit writing. You could study tarot for years. You could study all of this stuff for ages. And having a great knowledge base is very important, so you have a lot of things in your toolkit. But the more that you learn, the more that you need to put those things into practice. And when you're given a skill, or when you're taught a skill, it's much better to actually execute that skill and do something with it, rather than just saying, "Oh, I know a ton of stuff." I mean, I know a lot of I've watched some YouTubers, and I know plenty of people that are, quote unquote bookworms, where they have a ton of esoteric and magical knowledge, but the idea is, what do you do with it? When you have access to the ability to change things in your everyday life, from your life circumstances to the weather, and even traveling to different places to learn certain things, why not use it? It's like getting a college degree and not doing anything with it. You wasted a ton of your time, and sometimes a ton of money, to gain all of that knowledge. It's important to be able to take that knowledge and to practice it. So, I mean, it's great to continue to read and better yourself with learning as much as you can, but it's very important to have a regular ritual practice to keep your skills up. It's like, oh, you know how you have a bunch of workout machines, but your muscles aren't going to stay, strong unless they're regularly used. So, I'm gonna take this angle here with giving you guys suggestions on how to keep up your magical muscle. So, one of the biggest things is meditating daily if possible. If you are into, whatever spiritual system that you are into, make it a part of your daily life. So, you know, you could develop things like morning rituals to invoke the spirits that you work with, nightly rituals to work with whatever system it is that you honor. Um, if you're following moon cycles, really, make up a whole calendar for that. It might be a good idea to have a journal, or, book of shadows, things like that. Why haven't I made a book of shadows video yet? I keep talking about that. Anyway, it would be good to keep a record and make a schedule, even on like a planner or a calendar of sorts, to get an idea of what to practice. If you're more of a bookworm where you like to read things, I really like books that have exercises, like my book does, um, where you can practice those things and write down your progress with it. You know, if you're gonna read something, the second that you find an exercise, plan out when you can do that exercise. Or if you learn a new skill or something, apply that to your next ritual. See, if you're just going to be reading things, that's okay, but find ways of integrating what you read into your regular practice. If you learn a different way of raising energy or something, or if you are learning a new technique with visualization, astral travel, or whatever, be like, how can I add this in to my regular ritual? If you're just gonna, if you want to read something, that's okay. Where's my mute button? If you want to read something, great, but find ways to practice with it so it beefs up your magical skill. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to it other than you got to find ways of applying what you learn to keep up your knowledge and to integrate what you learn to make yourself bigger, better, faster, and stronger. And the biggest thing for me was writing everything down. So daily I did this, daily I did that. This is how I felt about it. One of those other things is after you do something, not only write about what you're going to do and plan it out, but also reflect on, this worked for me. I felt like this could really help me out, or this thing was lackluster. I'm not that I I read it and thought it was cool, but it didn't exactly work for me, because that would also give you an idea of the next time that you stumble on something that's similar to it, is that down your alley, or is that something that you're not that much of a fan of, so this book's not entirely for me. This system is much like this other one that I was looking into, and this is not the thing that I resonate with, or oh, this is for me, I want to try this and I want to integrate it. So, you know, studying is fantastic, but practice is important. So, yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So, let me know what you guys think about this video. Drop anything that you guys want to talk about in the comments. Any ideas for future videos, put those in the comments. You can email me at priestthenecro@gmail.com. Check out my book, Magical Theater, which is on Amazon, on the psychology and energy work of magic and how those two interplay to effectively create an environment where spells and changes in your life and in your mind can occur. And good hunting.